Ooh, turn that down.
This is not a dog. This is a ferret.
What's up, YouTube? Thedagem here with another knife collection video. And today, we're moving on to the first of 4 possible maps for Crystal Lake Large. I'm going to start off with being honest. This may not be a complete walkthrough. Now, just what in the hell do I mean by that? I mean that ignoring the 2 knives in the shack, sometimes there are 20 to collect. Sometimes only 19. Why is this? Your guess is as good as mine. My friends and I have scoured the map looking for what we assumed was a knife location that I had missed. We cannot find it. I have personally played Map A over 30 times, and sometimes I end the match with 28, sometimes just 27. It's possible that there's another knife location that won't be featured here. It's also possible that sometimes there's just randomly one less knife. Who knows? In any case, if you see me wandering around like I don't know where to go, it's usually because I'm just trying to look for this missing location that I assume exists. But at this point, I feel like I've checked every spot on the map at least 3 times. As with every walkthrough I've done so far, I have a completely arbitrary path that I take around the camp to collect the knives. There is absolutely no advantage to following the path that I take. It just helps me to make these videos. It's one less decision I have to make. This is not the quickest way to collect knives, and you won't be doing this in a real match. The knife collecting information in these videos should really just help you to make decisions like which door you want to chop down on the house and which way you walk around a cabin, so you can collect knives quickly and get back to killing counselors with them. Like always, I'll be telling you to pay attention to the cabin names, as learning these is the single most effective way to learning knife locations. They do not change. I'm a broken record at this point, but a solid weld lodge will have knives in the same 2 spots, no matter which map it's on. Some maps, like this one, will only spawn a certain number of knives, leaving other locations empty. This should be expected. On Crystal Lake Large, map variant A, I have found 27 locations, but only 19 or 20 will ever spawn. This should not confuse you, or give you an excuse not to learn the cabin names. The knives that spawn are randomized, but the spots they can spawn in are not. So knowing a few will be empty shouldn't be discouraging. If you see a Zane's shift house, there's 1 knife. It's on the front. If it's not there, move on. Don't waste time looking around inside, because there will never be a knife there. Here's a map that I got from Geekboxing. These maps have been very helpful to me, and I suggest you take the time to study this resource. The link for them is in the description below. There are 4 maps for each camp that we've looked at so far, and Crystal Lake Large is the same in that way. You can tell which map you're on as a counselor by memorizing the maps as Jason. Walking around the camp helps me to memorize the maps better. These walkthroughs eliminate questions like where the phone house is or where the power box is for the Tommy Jarvis call. Use this resource to your advantage and try a couple of knife runs once you get familiar with the maps. Honestly, this task of doing knife walkthroughs has helped my counselor game out much more than my Jason game, but it certainly helped both. The cabins at Birch Ridge on Map A look like an upside-down number 7. This camp has a different cabin layout for each map variant, so you can tell which variant has loaded by what these cabins look like. But there are 100 ways to identify Map A from the others. You just need to study the maps a bit. Eventually, you'll be directing traffic to everyone in the lobby. That is, if they need or want the help. The structures in Crystal Lake that don't move or change are the shed by the dock, 4 telephone poles, the bathroom, the archery range, the boathouse, the tool shed, and the cabin on stilts between these 2 structures. These spots have a chance to spawn knives regardless of the map variant that is loaded. I refer to these spots as guaranteed locations as a result. So if you don't care to learn the maps as completely as I do, learn the cabin names, their possible knife locations, and the guaranteed locations for each map. You'll be glad you did. For Crystal Lake, there's 10 guaranteed locations, and unless you're real unlucky, you'll average about 6 knives by visiting these alone. Okay, enough of that jibber-jabber, fools. Let's collect some knives. I start off with the 2 in the shed. Big surprise there, I know. But then I morph to the dock over by Birch Ridge. Like most maps, there's a structure next to the dock that can have a knife. It's not there this time, so I'll edit in footage of when it is so you can see for yourself. But as I've done in the past, I'll always return to the same original walkthrough. From here, it's a long walk to the northernmost cabin at Birch Ridge. It would be real nice if I had a shift right about now, because there's a knife on its rear right side. But it looks like I'm batting 1,000 here. It's also missing for this walkthrough. So, again, I'll edit in footage of when it does appear so you can see for yourself. As mentioned before, Birch Ridge is a good way to memorize this map variant. The cabins up here look like an upside-down number 7, and the middlemost cabin has the phone. There are also 2 knives on it to collect, and the first one is inside the hallway here. I'll grab this one real quick, and then I'll try to grab me some Chad. Damn it! Alright, you win this round. Now, normally, I'd chase this counselor, but I'm making a video, so hopefully that flare gun doesn't become a problem later. The second knife on this cabin is right next to the phone box. Don't forget this location. It's a quick one to grab when you're trapping the phone. And since that is usually done early on in the match, the doors up here are likely to be unlocked. Use this to your advantage and get the knife next door behind the half wall, which is where I'm headed right now. I thought Chad was sneaking up for a flare gun shot to the face there, and I missed the grab for the 3rd straight time. I'll get you though. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Like I said, this cabin here has a knife behind the half wall, and next door is Carmine's Moose Lodge. We've seen that cabin name before. You should already know where the 2 knives are going to be. So, I'm heading to the rear left side, and the knife is missing for this walkthrough. So, I'll edit in footage of when it is there. The next knife is just inside the front door. You open the door, and it should be staring you right in the face on the wall in front of you. Now, Chad has locked the door here, which is fantastic. I fully expect to get shot with a flare gun. Let's see what happens. Hello? Chad? Alright. He's not here, and we're morphing away, because next up, the birdcage. And again, it's a named cabin, and that means you should know where the knife is already. I have no idea where I am, apparently, but I do know that I'm headed to the back of the birdcage to pull off the knife from the rear right side. There is absolutely no reason to enter this cabin unless someone is in there. This is the only knife a birdcage will ever have. From this cabin, the next 4 lampposts on the way down Burrow Lane can all spawn knives, and they all did for this playthrough, and for that, I am thankful. Next up, Pfeiffer Flat. This cabin can have knives on the front left, which is missing, and inside the front door behind the chair. I've edited in footage of the knife on the front for you, and I'll just spare you the suspense. There wasn't one inside this time either. Next up are 2 more telephone poles that can spawn knives. But first, back to the original playthrough. Okay. This is the original playthrough. I'll open the door, and we can see that there's nothing on the corner. Turn around, and here we go. You can see the one on the telephone pole from here. I'll collect that one quickly, and then shift to the next telephone pole down. Next, it's time for the small cabin that Kenny just ran into. It has a knife behind its half wall. Hopefully, Kenny doesn't have a surprise waiting for me when I get inside. Perfect. Okay, across the street is Stately Prince Manor. It has a knife on the left part of the cabin that is facing you, and another one on the bathroom portion. I'll even walk around the front side of the house so you can read the nameplate. 'Cause that's the kind of guy I am. Okay, I'll walk around the front of the cabin, and if you put the video in slow motion and get out a microscope, you may be able to read that nameplate. I'm doing an absolute bang-up job. I'll just continue on to the bathroom for the knife there. Up next is the last of 4 telephone poles, and my shift will get us there in no time flat. Doing these knife walkthroughs has really helped me to practice shifting around the camp. I still get hung up on shit all the time, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who does, but I do strongly suggest you give these walkthroughs a try for all kinds of reasons. Learning to shift better is just one of them. Up next is the bathroom, or as some people have called it, the bathhouse. There's a knife on the one corner on the opposite side as the power transformer. It's not there for this playthrough, but I'll edit in footage of when it is. Alright, I hope you're getting excited, because I am. My favorite cabin is up next. Rod Fielder's cabin. You know the drill. 2 knives in the hallway, and one hell of a portrait of what I can only assume is Rod himself. Alright, there's the first knife. There's the portrait of Rod, and there's the second knife. To anybody who can hear the banging going on in the background, my neighbors are celebrating the 4th of July, 3 weeks early. What a bunch of patriots. Next door, there's an unnamed cabin, and there are 2 knives. The first one is on the bathroom portion, and the second one is on the opposite corner of the house. See? That's me getting stuck on stuff when I'm shifting, but no longer do I get stuck there forever. I'm able to kind of maneuver my way out of it. It's just something stupid that I learned when I was trying to put these videos together. I highly suggest doing these walkthroughs for that reason. The last cabin down here at Springwater Camp has 1 knife on its rear corner, and I should not have used my morph just there, because my next destination that I like to go to is the boathouse, and now I have no real way of getting there until my morph comes back. So we're just going to look around at these trees and that light post over there to see if we can find this missing location that I can't find. But nope, I can't find it. I have no idea why sometimes I end with 28 and sometimes I end with 27. There is 1 extra cabin on Map B that Map A doesn't have. Maybe they never reprogrammed the knife that spawns there. This game is so incredibly broken that I wouldn't put it past the developers to have screwed that up. Okay, my morph is back, and it's time for the boathouse. The side that has the power transformer also has a knife on the corner. Almost done now. Only 2 shacks and the archery range left. These last 4 knives are in what I call guaranteed locations, as these structures always appear in the same spots when the rest of the cabins change. Next door to here is the tool shed, or the garage as some people call it. The side that's facing you has a knife on the left corner. And once we grab this, it's a short walk to the archery range for our final knife. It's on one of the posts as soon as you walk up the stairs. And that's it. All 27 knife locations for Crystal Lake Map Variant A. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you liked it, or it helped you in any way, share it around. There are a ton of new players playing Friday right now, and a ton of people who've been playing since the game came out. And the feedback I've gotten from both has been amazing. I hope these videos help you as much as making them has helped me. Leave me a comment if there's something you'd like me to show you that I haven't so far, and don't forget to subscribe if that's something you're into. Send me a friend request on the PSN if you like, and we'll play a match. Until then, stay safe out there, you guys. Cheers, and happy Friday.